Bada bing, bada boom.
What would be considered a normal reaction to have when detectives come to your door and they tell you the other woman that your fiance has been seeing, she's dead? It's nighttime. The hallway of the apartment complex is not well lit. It's pretty dark, but the two homicide detectives, they don't have time to waste. They knock on the door to Daniel's apartment until it swings open, and instead of Daniel standing there, they see two women. One of them is definitely older. She's 27. Her name is Antonetta. She clearly seems like she's the one in charge when she opens this door. The other girl, Janine, she's 17, and she has this energy that's similar to those side girl in the movies. That one follower of the mean girl who just follows the main character mean girl around, smirking in the background while she's bullying other people. That is the 17-year-old Janine's aura. Antonetta leans up against the doorframe. Janine, the side character, is like behind her, leaning up against the wall. Her hip is popped out on one side.
Hey, this is Detective Poppy, Sergeant Poppy. We know that there was like an incident that happened earlier today. Has anyone called you about it since? Did somebody suggest you? Well, we just got another call about it. So I guess the girl went to the hospital and she died. She died? She's dead.
Both of them are quiet for like a moment. Janine, the little follower girl, her hand is still propped up against the wall. She's not even phased. She doesn't even change her position. She has a reaction of someone telling her that a random person on the other side of the world is dead. Actually, less reaction than that. The officers continue.
But we know that there was like an altercation that happened beforehand.
That was usual when she came here.
Yeah, we understand that. So, but because of it, we're going to kill him. Yeah. I get it. But because of that, we have to kind of talk to you guys and get a more formal statement.
Wow, I'm so sorry about that. Yes, that was not my intention. I've been mentally going through a lot. I have bipolar depression, and I'm just going through a lot right now. And, you know, I came here from up north with my fiance. That's him. I came here with my fiance. Yeah. So
Are you his sister? His sister. Okay.
Sister. I came here with my fiance. He started me life, buy a house, everything like that, and I never expected him to basically cheat on me with someone at the workplace. You know what I'm saying?
It was not the reaction most people were expecting when Antonetta is told that her fiance's love interest is dead, especially when she's the one responsible.
Look how big he is now. Oh my god, the dog. Oh, who's this dude that Is he new? Yeah, right? Who is he? The guy with the mohawk? He looks like his...
We would like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support the National Network to End Domestic Violence, a nonprofit organization dedicated to creating a social, political, and economic environment in which partner-related, workplace-related, and stalking violence no longer exists. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team, and we'd also like to thank you guys for your continued support as we work on our mission to be worthy advocates. As always, full show notes are available at RottenMangoPodcast.com. Now, with that being said, let's get started.
Yeah, who is this guy?
What does one do when they find out that their partner is cheating on them? One person said that they held a mock funeral for their relationship to mourn the death of their marriage. They went and they buried all of their photos together. They held eulogies with all of their friends for what the relationship was like in their lives, and then they walked away to grieve. Another person said they just immediately started throwing everything out of the house. That was the only appropriate response she felt in that moment. She just wanted to get rid of everything that had to do with him. Gone. Go away. There needed to be a new space that was untainted by their whole relationship. Antonetta, on the other hand, had quite a unique reaction, I guess you could say. Antonetta and Daniel had been together for the past 5 years. They have a child together, and for the past 5 years, ever since she became a mom to his baby, this is her main priority. All she does when she wakes up till the moment that she hits the bed and goes to sleep is think about her 2 babies. So she has one with Daniel and another one from a previous relationship. She doesn't have time for her friends anymore. She doesn't have time for her family. She has nobody but Daniel and their kids. And maybe Daniel's little sister, Janine. That's it. Antonetta feels like she's gotten even more isolated because they moved all the way from Buffalo, New York, down to Georgia to start this new life. And one day she's cooking, cleaning, working from home, taking care of the kids, when Daniel's little 17-year-old sister, Janine, turns to her and says, "Oh, and I forgot to tell you, Daniel is cheating on you." This just confirmed what Antonetta has been feeling since they moved to Georgia. She knew it. She could feel it in her intuition. And this is going to make her lose her mind. She says, "I work from home. I'm in this house 24/7. I cook, clean, and work. That's all I do all day long. It's probably why I lost my mind." What do you mean he's cheating on me? She has no family's house to stay at. She just has Daniel. That's it. And he's over there cheating with the manager of his workplace? She says, "I put all my eggs in one basket just for this to happen." I don't know. I don't know what Antonetta was expecting when she confronts Daniel. Maybe she thought that he was going to grab her leg and beg her to stay, promise he'll never do it again. But instead, he says, "The love interest has been gone, Antonetta, okay? It's gone, and it's not the other girl's fault. Our problems are deep, okay? We got a kid and everything, so, like, I have a kid with you. I'm going to respect you regardless." This is his quote. "But if I'm not with you, then I don't have to do that part anymore, the romantic part. I'm just gonna take care of my kid, and if you need help, I will help you."
Oh, like he's trying to break up?
Yes. Daniel explains his side of the story. He feels like he's not even cheating on Antonetta. He thought the feeling was pretty mutual. It was understood by both parties that they're not getting along, that they're just together right now physically for the kids. He says, "This is like crazy to me. Like, it's not like this fresh, like I'm over here cheating on this woman. I'm not. This has been a toxic environment and she's just been trying to figure out what to do. I've been trying to figure out what to do, but she doesn't want nobody to leave. And I'm telling her, like, I'll leave. I'll live in my car. I will do whatever. But it's just like I've been through this before. Antonetta used me, abused me mentally, and I was in the wrong because I'm a man. Like, I'm not going to do that again. I refuse. This is not happening."
What part of Georgia are they in?
Buford, Georgia? Antonetta feels betrayed. She just found out that Daniel cheated on her with someone from work named Ashley, and she feels devastated. Daniel, on the other hand, feels like it's not cheating because their relationship hasn't been good for a very long time, and that they should both just move on. Daniel's like, "I thought that was the plan." But that is not what ends up happening, because within 48 hours, Ashley, the woman from Daniel's workplace, will end up dead. There's a saying that a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. The last ones to be seen with Ashley, the quote-unquote other woman, were Antonetta and Janine. So naturally, they're brought into the police station to be questioned. Because how did Ashley go from being completely fine in the morning, meeting up with the two of them outside of Daniel's apartment, and then being immediately hospitalized? The two girls, 27-year-old Antonetta, Daniel's fiancée and the mother of his child, and 17-year-old Janine, Daniel's little sister and Antonetta's sister-in-law, are sitting in separate police interrogation rooms. And Antonetta tells the police officers, "I haven't slept since last night. Like, I've just had a really long day and night, and I understand this is all voluntary, so I kind of, like, wanted to know, or if I could just, like, is it gonna be much longer? Can I come back or something?" The officer tells her, "No, we need you to stay." As in, I have to stay? Okay. I think this is when Antonetta starts realizing how serious this is, because immediately after she has read her rights, she states,
Well, I do want to speak with the lawyer just because of how sensitive the situation is. I will say that, I don't go out looking to harm anybody. That's not my intention. I do feel, very remorseful about anything that has happened with that young lady. I'll also say that, it wasn't my intention to even get into an altercation with her today. She came over to my place of residence looking for my fiance. We argued. I was hit. We fought. I feel really bad, but you know, I don't know. It's just no. It's just
forever.
At least he's alive.
He didn't do anything. He got
So she asked for attorney and then she went on to share all of this
Yes.
without the attorney.
Yes. She does not reveal or answer many other questions, though, after that. In terms of what a criminal defense attorney would want to see in a client, she's not bad. She's not the worst. She doesn't respond to anything. This is pretty much it. But as always, the group is only as strong as its weakest link. In the next room over, 17-year-old Janine is read her rights, and then she's asked about what happened that day. As she's being read her Miranda rights, she looks very serious. Her energy is similar to that of Antonetta's, like she's comprehending the seriousness, the gravity of this situation. And then she's asked, so tell us what happened. That's when she cracks a smile, flips her hair, and starts using her hands to narrate this whole story. So, let me start where I lead it, okay?
Since I've been down here, they haven't been on good terms. So, arguments back to back. So, we just came back from Florida, not too long ago, from her mom's wedding. And we left on bad terms with everybody because my brother got into an incident with her stepdad. So, ever since that happened and we left Florida, it's just been rockier. It's just been worse arguments and shit. So, yeah. You're fine. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What?
She keeps covering her mouth like she's laughing. When you do the index finger to the mouth to cover your mouth because you're giggling about something so hilarious. She's flipping her hair, using her hand to narrate. I will be honest, she sounds very normal, and that's the alarming part because she's in an interrogation room, but she sounds like every other normal person giving a little story time on TikTok.
My brother, him being a man, cheats. Like always, he's feeling less than he thinks it's okay to cheat, so, he tells me. So, he tells me who's he cheating with and stuff. Now, me and my stepsister, not my stepsister, my sister-in-law, we're so close, you understand? She's more of a sister to me than my brother's a brother to me, Yeah. So, we're very close. So, once he told me, I was just like, what the hell? It's girl code, right?
She's giggling and stuff?
The whole time she's laughing and giggling. She's flipping her hair. She's like, hee 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 hee.
They're looking at it.
The police keep egging her on. Yeah, of course, it's girl code. Literally, the detective is playing into this. So then she puts her hand on the table and she keeps covering her mouth.
So, especially right after he told me what he was doing, he wanted to do it with her. So I'm just like, I'm about to tell her. So she wanted to get with me. So I let a few days go by because I wasn't sure. I didn't want to stir up the pot because I already know they had problems. So I'm like, maybe it'll come to light if I have to say anything. Obviously it did, but I told her. So 2 days prior before this day, we were just chilling, she was working, and Daniel did something to her to make her upset. So we were talking or whatever. And I was like, oh, I forgot to tell you today. No, I didn't forget. So I was like, told her what happened. He explained what she did or whatever. She's like, oh, really? She's upset with her. I was like, don't tell him that because he's going to be okay, so after that, he explained how the girl looked to me, and earlier put her in a skinny girl.
So again, the way she's talking is so normal. I feel like this is how I would talk, maybe not in this setting, in this context, but if I was just talking to a girlfriend about something unserious, something that happened at the grocery store that resulted in no negative consequences. I accidentally bumped into my sister with my cart and we got into a little argument. She uses her finger to emphasize words as well. The next day we went to the store. Last night. We went to the store last night to Quick Trip. Quick Trip is right there,
Does she not understand that she's being interrogated for murder or what's going on?
No, she does not understand, clearly. Yeah, I'm not sure why, but she doesn't understand. But I think beyond that, it's fascinating because I do see a lot of comments on her very now since gone viral interrogation clips of people saying, hey, I'm 17, and if I'm even near the vicinity of a police officer, I'm not talking like my regular Gen Z self. Like, I am suddenly very professional. No, sir. Yes, sir. No, thank you.
Especially someone died, so even if she doesn't think that she's responsible, still, like, that's a very weird demeanor, right?
It's very strange. It's truly just a story time on TikTok. So then she explains with her finger, okay? So after that, he explained how the girl looked to me, though. And, you know, curly hair, Puerto Rican, skinny girl. So I was like, all right, explain to Antonetta. The next day, we went to the store last night. We went to the store last night to Quick Trip. Quick Trip is like right there, you know. Quick Trip is like a gas station, by the way, side note. So we walked to the Quick Trip, and as we were walking, both of them are walking together from Quick Trip. So they're just now leaving, and we're just now coming. So Antonetta's like, is that Daniel walking by? So now she runs to him and is like, who is this? So he's like, oh, it's my coworker or whatever. Mind you, before we walked to Quick Trip, we asked him, when you go on your break, can you take me to the store? He said he couldn't leave on his break. So when we saw them walking, it was like, you just said you couldn't leave on your break, but now you're walking with her to the store. So she's upset now. I mean, you wouldn't take me to the store, and now you're walking with the girl. She just explained to how she looked, and she fit the description of the other woman, so, you know, she's upset. They go arguing outside, so we finally got her to calm down. We went to the car, and then when that happened, the other girl, Ashley, was like, basically trying to argue with Antonetta, because you know how upset her attitude was. So, you know, she didn't want to seem like a little softie in front of my brother. So, you know, arguing. And then she walked away. I went to her and I was just like, listen, the problem... I explained to her the problem because I guess she was just, I don't know if she was his manager or his coworker, I don't know. But I explained to her the problem or whatever and let her know, like, it's my brother and you fit the description of the girl that he was cheating on her with. So yeah, that's why it's a problem now. And she's like, oh, what did that guy do to me? Acting like she wasn't my brother. But we know. So after that, he went home. They weren't very good. They didn't go to sleep until like a good 10 a.m. in the morning. So after that, she's kicking Daniel or whatever. She doesn't want to live with him anymore. She's kicking him out. Either he's going to leave or she's going to leave. And, you know, she's got to leave with the kids and everything. So it just makes sense if he just left. So he's getting kicked out or whatever. And then I guess she was coming to see him. Ashley was coming to see him. He was getting kicked out. I don't know. I wasn't in those messages. I'm not sure what was, that was. But I guess she was coming to see him because he was getting kicked out. Antonetta saw those messages. And the way Janine leans over, she's like leaning on the arm of her chair now, and she looks like she's giving the officers the energy of, now get this. Like, you know when you tell a story and you move your body to kind of narrate and you lean in closer so that the audience gets the attention a little bit more, like, hold on, it's about to get crazy. You're adding in these little cues, like you have something so juicy to tell your friends. That's the energy she's giving. She continues.
Like, yeah, now she's about to come see you. Now I'm about to beat her up. Because you just stayed here the other day. So, you know that's how it went. So, she's coming to Atlanta. And we go to and she goes to her house. Big fight. So,
the boyfriend's getting kicked out.
Yes, Janine's version of the story is that her brother, Daniel, is getting kicked out of the house. And I guess he was texting Ashley, his manager, that he is also in a romantic relationship with, that he's getting kicked out, and she said, I'm going to come pick you up. I'm going to come see you. So she's on the way to Daniel's apartment, and Antonetta and Janine read those messages and decide, you know what? Let's beat her up.
This recording is
okay.
Yes. And big fight. Wow. Janina is smiling while she's making her eyes big to emphasize just how serious this big fight is. But at the same time, she's relaxed and smiling as if, again, she's just sharing a wild little TikTok story time. And she continues to recount all the things that they did to Ashley with this very nonchalant smile on her face. She smiles and she tells the detectives in the room.
I never, out of all fights I've been in, I never saw somebody talk shit during a fight. Like, why are you getting beat up talking shit? I never seen somebody that.
What was she saying?
She was just like, shit talking. Oh, doesn't want you. That's what he's doing. Just shit like that.
Yeah. This is definitely not gonna be fun again.
Like, It was just such a weird fight. Like, she was just like, she just was kept on talking. Then she was like, "Aren't you his sister?" And it was just laughing all type of shit. It was just weird. She was a weird person. Never. I was like, okay.
Ashley came over to pick him up.
Yes.
When was the fight happening?
Outside. They met her downstairs. Ashley was walking to pick up Daniel.
And where's Daniel?
Inside sleeping. Oh, it's gonna get crazy because none of
this is all happening while Daniel is sleeping?
Yes, because he was not actually getting kicked out. Oh yeah, what? It's all gonna make sense in a second. This is Janine's version of the story to the police, and the police are already putting together, this doesn't make sense with what we've discovered.
Oh.
So this is not the most accurate version of events. This is Janine's version of events. Their detectives are laughing with her. They're joking around with her. I mean, Detective Carter really nailed this one in the interrogation. I don't even know how to explain it. The way that she is instantly so buddy-buddy with Janine, the way that she built rapport is probably one of the more impressive ones I've seen so far.
I was about to judge you. You were like, I never went to Niagara Falls. I'm like, girl, did you just leave your house? Like,
oh my God.
Like, no.
And so she's joking around with her, even when she explains how they took Ashley's phone. So Janine is like, during the fight, we took Ashley, the other woman's phone, because Ashley has a husband. So we were going to tell the husband that she's cheating on her husband with Daniel, who's cheating on Antonetta. And it's all funny for the detectives. The detectives are laughing with her like it's the funniest thing in the world, until it's not. So we're going to have to book you into jail. Your charge is going to be aggravated battery, all right, for the fight. So basically just a little more serious than just a regular battery. So what's up with Antonetta? Same thing. So you're clear on your charges, Janine? So it's robbery. Janine's mouth drops open.
Robbery? What? Robbery?
Yeah.
So nasty.
We didn't steal her phone. We took it so she could come to the house.
Oh, you took it?
Yeah,
You didn't steal it.
she got her phone back. I told you she wasn't leaving unless we gave her back her phone. We just did it so we could call her husband until we changed our mind.
Okay.
And once the police tell her, yeah, okay, that's robbery, she covers her mouth and starts laughing. Like, oh, literally.
The other charge is murder.
This member in right here.
Yep. You're being charged with murder.
Me?
Yep.
That's too bad.
That's deep, right?
Yeah, that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
No. What?
And she starts wagging her finger in the air. No. Murder?
Wow.
I barely laid hands on her.
That's her realization?
Yeah, that's her realization, and she keeps trying to argue that it wasn't murder, but the whole time she's like half laughing. Later when they take pictures of her, she's posing. She's not drunk, by the way. A lot of people have compared her to Stephanie Malgoza, the drunk driver that killed the couple that we covered recently, but she's not drunk.
She's not under any influence.
No. It's just the most bizarre interrogation, and the way that she's sitting there, she keeps talking to herself after they leave the room. So they tell her charges, they leave the room, and she just keeps like, and she's thinking. Sometimes I see that she looks stressed because we got the original full interrogation clip from the police. Sometimes it looks like she is about to feel how serious this situation is, but then she'll start talking to herself again like, me? In jail?
That is so confusing.
What? Brain game.
Came up with this.
How long was she in there for? Like an hour, 2 hours?
The whole interrogation, I want to say the actual when she's talking to the detectives was maybe like 30, 45 minutes. She's in there for a good 2 hours. There's about 30 minutes in the beginning before she even talks to the detectives where she's just singing. She's singing in the interrogation room. She's singing. No, like full-on Hotline Bling by Drake.
These days, all I do is wonder if
No
you
way.
bending over
That's
backwards for someone else. Wonder if you running up a fast for someone else. Do I touch again now for someone else?
What?
She's using finger guns and everything. I think that's why a lot of people think that she is reminiscent of Stephanie Malgoza.
30 minutes of singing, the police came in,
story time.
And then told her that she is going to be charged for murder.
Then she's left alone for about another 20 minutes where she's just kind of talking to herself, and at certain points it seems like she's getting serious, but then she'll start yapping to herself again about like, me in jail? No. And then she'll put her head in her hands.
He's smiling.
We're going to jail in these clothes.
We'll give you clothes when you get there.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Bad outfit. It's like,
And then they come back in to take pictures of her, take pictures of if she has any injuries or cuts, scratches, bruising, because there was an altercation previously. And she starts kind of posing and giggling. And then she's like, okay, let me be serious.
No freaking
Yeah.
Take pictures of you, I know. But you went and checked yourself, you know.
Hey.
Get your arms down. She's posing. Is this what we did? No, it looks fun. Nobody's good. It's just for us. If you'll turn this out.
Even when they're handcuffing her, she's like making jokes.
Like what?
Just talking about how her bracelets were handcrafted in Africa, and then she has to give them up, and then she's like, ooh, like, oh my gosh, this tight. After Antonetta and Janine's fight that Janine just told the detectives all about, Ashley died in the hospital from her injuries. And so yes, now both of them are getting charged with murder. So just before Antonetta and Janine are brought into the police station, 4 people in Ashley's life are reacting to the news of Ashley's death, and they're all vastly different reactions. Daniel is standing in the hallway of that apartment after Antonetta and Janine are taken to the police station. He's in the hallway with 2 detectives. He's showing them his phone, showing them all the text messages Antonetta sent to Ashley. He's saying, Antonetta took my phone while I was asleep and lied about me getting kicked out to lure Ashley to the apartment to beat her up. He tries to explain to the detectives that he was checking in with Ashley, but she clearly does not want to talk to him. So after the fight, he keeps texting her like, are you okay? Are you okay? I need to see you. And she just seems over him. He just wants to know. He's reassuring the detectives. Is she hurt? Like, real bad?
I'm not gonna go in there. I'm not gonna go call her.
Yeah, you got a call from the hospital a while ago, and she actually passed away.
I will say Daniel's reaction is very difficult to witness. He immediately steps down the stairs, walks straight up to the male detective that just told him the news, almost like he's about to start a fight. But he's begging.
No, stop playing.
No, seriously. Please stop playing. Please stop playing. Sit down. Breathe.
Relax.
Breathe. Look at me. Breathe.
Fly now.
They keep having to tell him, just relax, breathe, and he keeps begging them, please stop playing with me, I can't breathe, holy sh-. He starts walking back into his apartment and he sounds hysterical. The authorities have to remind him to be mindful of his babies. They're still in there. They don't need to be traumatized.
Look, one stupid guy died.
It's actually very difficult to listen to. The authorities are trying to calm him down. I know this is hard, but at the end of the day, you still have your child in here, okay? And even as the authorities are on their way to leave, Daniel stops them and he cries to them, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. What do you mean you don't know what to do? I don't know what to do right now. I don't know what to do right now. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Look, Daniel, we gotta, I hate to leave you right now because you don't have anybody else, but we gotta, I don't know what to fucking do right now. Damn, what the The detectives then ask about his work schedule, which I think brings him to another pretty harsh reality of not only is the girl that he was falling in love with been murdered, but the kid's mom, the mother of his child, is gone because she's the killer. The police ask him, do you work tomorrow, or you said you work only at nights primarily? I work at night. I'm not even... How am I gonna fucking do this?
Oh my god, do not tell me drugs.
Listen, you just gotta take a breath and give yourself some time. Do you have any other siblings you can call?
Is he dead?
No, I don't have anybody.
Oh. You got shot
Someone you
twice?
can call and talk on the phone with?
Bleeding?
No.
Ew, it looks like
The
you have
authorities leave him
fucking
alone
herpes,
with
dude,
his
on your
children.
mouth.
Now, in the same town, there is another man who has a strong reaction to the news of Ashley's death as well. Her fiancé is in the hospital with detectives. Today is Ashley's fiancé's birthday. Ashley is dead on his birthday. So the detectives don't know how much this man knows. They don't know if he knows that Ashley was having an affair, but pretty quickly on, you can tell that he was in the dark. He doesn't know that she was seeing a man named Daniel. I just don't get it. There's no reason why anybody would want to do this to her, and it was just random. I don't know why. She was going out to get me a birthday cake. That's what she said. Today was my fucking birthday. She was going out to get me a birthday cake, and it just happened, you know? And we have a 7-year-old son, and I have to go to my son and break the news, and that... He explains to the authorities how 8 months prior, they moved back to Georgia from the Bronx in New York because his mom had passed away. She was very sick. They wanted to be with his mother who lived in Georgia. And now 8 months later, this happens. Just no reason. It doesn't make sense. He tells detectives that all of them are originally from New York. His mom moved down to Georgia first, and they came because they thought, quote, New York, I mean, you see all the random shootings, beatings, stabbings. We thought, we don't need this. And everything we did was just for our son. But now we come back to Georgia and deal with the same that we tried to leave. You know what I mean? I never felt safe having my child and her alone in the city in New York because of shit like this. And now we come over here and I make sure we find a gated community so we're a little more safer. They actually all live in the same community. They live in the same apartment complex, gated. It's like a massive apartment complex. Ashley and her fiance live on the other side. Daniel, Antonetta, and Janine, who's visiting, live on the other side. And like this happens, so it's like we're not safe anywhere. I tried my best to give my family the best I can, the best chance possible, and it didn't work. This just blows my mind. We live in a gated community that's supposed to prevent this from happening. Unwanted people in the community, and then this happens. I can't even tell you why this would happen. I have no clue. I go to work every day. All I do is work and come home. That's all I do. So, you know, if I had any slight idea of what could have caused this, but I don't even know. We literally both work and go home every day. That's it. She works overnight at Floor and Decor. She restocks and organizes and all that kind of stuff. And I told her not to work, but she was one of those, I want to have my own. I want to be independent. I don't want you doing everything for us. And I told her, but you don't have to work. I don't care that you don't help me. I'm the man of the house. We have a child together. I want to provide for you guys. But she was real persistent. She was like, no, I want to help. I didn't like her working though, especially overnight. But I was just trying to comfort her and let her know that everything's going to be okay. You're going to be fine. I was walking her through that everything the doctor had told me. I told her, okay, so you got a little bleeding. They said they're going to check it out. Let's see if they can fix it here. I'm trying to reassure her everything is good. Everything is good.
Wait, what does he know so far?
He believes that she was randomly attacked.
And is she still currently alive?
She's dead now.
Does he know that?
He knows she's passed, but he has no idea that she was not randomly attacked. He thinks this was a random attack in the gated neighborhood. And the police, I mean, it does seem like they feel a little bit more awkward about the situation because I think they know, but I don't think that they have confirmation of the affair. So these are different detectives from the one that are talking to Antonetta, Janine, and Daniel. So they're not confirmed that there was a relationship involved, so they can't tell him that yet.
Right.
So just to be clear, just to your understanding, this looks to you like there's just a random beating for no reason.
From what was told to me, she said she doesn't know who the girls are.
Oh my God,
She said she walked out the building and saw two girls running.
Oh my God.
And they looked suspicious. They looked like they were up to no good. Seen her.
Do they see him like getting his head cut open?
Right off together.
You know what? I don't
Without saying anything.
Seems like and you go do whatever it is that you want to do.
So,
I'm not asking you to drop me off with my people now.
I feel like I'm just
It does.
Yeah.
you know, because it's my birthday and she would never went out there to get me. Maybe that's what
You
it
never.
is. You know, but I have to. But it's like, I just feel like
You can't do that. It's gonna eat at you for forever. It's like you never predicted this. You didn't see this coming.
The police try to ask a bit more about their personal lives, and her fiancé responds, I mean, the past few days I've been accusing her of cheating on me because of, you know, like she accused me of cheating on her and I accused her of cheating on me, but for some reason, I don't know, previously in our 10 years together, I did fuck up and cheat in New York, in New York. So nothing here, you haven't done anything here. No, nothing here. Ever since that day, you know, she's always gotcha. But we always got over it. We knew it was petty. We like to get in under each other's skin. We've been together for so long. Like for my girl, Ashley, if like some girl smiles at me, right, she's like, oh, what was that about? She gets extremely jealous. But we spent the last few days rekindling, and I was apologizing for all this bullshit because at the end of the day, family is everything. He says, I can't even comprehend it. I don't get it. I still don't get it. I have no clue why this happened. And that's just what's killing me. When she told me one of the girls bit her on the face, I'm like, that sounds pretty personal. Somebody just doesn't bite somebody for nothing, you know? I just want her back. She's been with me for 10 years. We've been together for 10 years. We've known each other since the 8th grade. I had a crush on her since the 8th grade. Today is my birthday. 8 days from today is our 10-year anniversary. We had plans. I already reserved a restaurant for our anniversary. We had plans for Christmas. We had so many plans. I mean, she's not that kind of woman that would back down from anybody. And that's just one thing that I really hated about her, because I kind of need peace. You know, I want her safe, but that's just her mentality. We're from the Bronx. It's pretty depressing when the police leave him in the small little hospital room. So during the whole questioning with the police, he stays a little emotionless. There are times where he breaks down and the police will pull him back and redirect the question. I don't think they want him to get too emotional because they need answers. So they keep redirecting the questions, and he keeps having these moments where he needs to collect himself. But overall, he's able to hold it together very well until they leave that hospital room, and on the body cam, you can hear him instantly break down into just hysterical sobs. They don't tell him, though. They don't tell him that she knew those girls. They don't tell him that there might be someone else in the picture, or at least not in this moment. Antonetta and Janine are told right before being brought into the police station. And like I said from earlier this episode, their reaction is very mild. Antonetta's first thought was how she's been having a hard time. And Janine, in the police station, she thinks this is all hilarious.
And now you're not gonna take him, really?
Some of my favorite wholesome videos to watch online are the ones where people who speak multiple languages but don't look like it will randomly break out into full sentences, surprising everyone around them. And almost always the unsuspecting native speakers in the videos are shocked, but also happy, elated even, because learning a language is so much more than just communicating. It shows that there's a deep interest in the person's culture and heritage. I've been learning Chinese from my husband's side of the family, and actually I was talking with a friend and suggested, totally unprompted, that they should surprise their grandma for the holidays by learning her native language using Rosetta Stone. She just started practicing and is hoping to surprise her Nana by holding a full conversation in French by Christmas time. With Rosetta Stone, this is a fun little holiday gift that you can give as well. Whether you're surprising a loved one with your own abilities or gifting a membership, brushing up on a past language, or even starting from scratch, Rosetta Stone is the most trusted language learning program available on desktop or as an app. It truly immerses you in the language that you want to learn, but most importantly, Rosetta Stone encourages fast language learning through an intuitive process designed for long-term retention. The built-in True Accent feature gives you feedback on your pronunciation, which is basically a personal trainer for your accent. Because for 30 years, Rosetta Stone has been the most trusted language learning platform with millions of users worldwide. And don't worry, if French is not your thing, they have 25 different languages to choose from, such as Korean, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese, Arabic. Not that you have to choose though, because with Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership, you get access to all 25 language courses for the rest of your life. A lifetime supply of unlimited access to 25 languages for any future trips or language needs in life. Don't put off learning that language. There's no better time than right now to get started. Rotten Mango listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/rotten. That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem for 50% off at rosettastone.com/rotten today. As many of you guys know, I've never been a big drinker. My stomach is already so sensitive to certain foods and drinks that I can never really bounce back the next day. It just ruins the whole next day. A sip of champagne for New Year's, it doesn't matter if it's a toast for the wedding, I always end up regretting it, which is very unfortunate because I think I love the experience and the taste of a red wine with a steak or a glass of ice wine for dessert. But those regrets are now gone because I found Z-Biotics, a pre-alcohol probiotic drink that actually works. Their probiotic was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not the dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. This is a proactive solution that wards off feeling miserable the next day instead of a reactive approach like drinking electrolytes or getting greasy food. My first time trying Z-Biotics was actually during Chuseok, which is the Korean equivalent to Thanksgiving. I drank their pre-alcohol probiotic before my family brought over this Pekseju. It was my first time having it. It's like a rice-based drink. And normally I'd be regretting it the next morning, but the next morning I woke up and I felt like every other morning, and it was kind of crazy. I was almost convinced it was the Korean rice drink. But then I had a glass of wine after Z-Biotics. It's the Z-Biotics. Honestly, Z-Biotics is a game changer. Even if you're not a big drinker like me, it's always so good and worth it to have a supply just in case, especially for your friends. Go to zbiotics.com/rotten to learn more and get 15% off your first order when you use rotten at checkout. Z-Biotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason at all, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/rotten and use the code ROTTEN at checkout for 15% off. Thank you, Z-Biotics, for sponsoring this episode and our good times.
Now I want some.
Have you seen this?
Meanwhile, the detectives are from both sides, from the hospital and now the detectives that are in the police station talking to Antonetta and Janine. They're trying to get the full picture of what's been going on. Earlier that day, Ashley and her fiancé had walked into an emergency room. The nurses at the emergency room are talking to each other about how to handle this new patient. Because Ashley's injuries and what she's saying happened, none of them really make sense. The nurses see these large blotches all over her face, head, upper torso. I mean, these are some pretty bad bruises. Her entire face is swollen, puffy. She has bite marks on her body, her face, her legs, her back. She clearly has a black eye. She looks what appears to be bite marks on her cheek. Scrape marks all over her shoulders like she was dragged, like somebody dragged her shoulders onto the concrete outside. Her elbows are completely scraped up, her knees are bleeding. Other notes on her medical chart include possible collapsed lung, patient in need of a CT scan, evidence of a lacerated liver. There's not much explanation on how she got these injuries that don't include severe abuse, at least none that the nurses can think of. They ask the man that she's come into the emergency room with, her fiance, and he explains to her that he was at work when she called him, stating that she just got jumped. She got jumped, and it all happened so fast, she didn't even have a chance to do anything. It was just, they ganged up on her, and she doesn't know why. He was rightfully so concerned for her that he leaves work, comes home, she's on the bed, just gasping for air, saying she can't breathe, she can't breathe, she can't breathe. He keeps asking her, what happened? Like, what do you mean you just got jumped? What happened? She's trying to explain to him what happened, but she can't even finish her sentence without stopping. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. She does have a pre-existing heart condition, so it could be that. He gets her dressed, rushes her to the emergency room, but as they're leaving, she's throwing up. It's red blood. The entire time in the car, he keeps telling her, trying to comfort her, it's all right, we're almost there. That's what he explains to the nurses, which only gives them more confirmation. Yeah, we gotta call the police. This is weird.
Did they think it was him at the hospital?
They might have, because it's just weird. The whole thing, none of this makes sense.
They call the police because they feel like there was something a lot darker here.
Yes, either it could be him, which is a natural thought until you realize what happened, right? It could have been somebody else, or those two girls that randomly jumped her, they still need to get arrested because you can't just randomly jump somebody. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So they call the police, but it's very tricky when the patient does not want the police involved. In fact, she tells the officers on the phone she doesn't even know why the nurses called them in the first place. She says, it's fine, the situation is just weird. But she doesn't want to press charges. It's not that big of a deal. She's just waiting for a taxi. This is what she tells the police. She was waiting for a taxi when these two women walk up towards her, behaving suspiciously, and they start whispering to each other, and the only thing that she hears them say is, yeah, she matches the description. And they just start jumping her, beating her. She said she doesn't know who they are, why they randomly attacked her. They probably mistook her for somebody else, is her best guess. But obviously, the police don't really believe her. In fact, they have several reports that indicate that this was a very personal attack. The police just try to verify with her, but once again, you don't want the police involved?
You don't want anything done? You are all good? Okay. Awesome. Well, I really hope you feel better, and if you have any more questions for me, just call the Gwinnett County Police Department and ask for Officer King. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So heartbreaking.
She's not going to get the chance to, because after the CT scans, the doctors realize her injuries are so much worse than they thought. She has extensive blunt force trauma to the head, which has led to hemorrhaging in the brain. She ends up passing away. Her cause of death is listed as generalized trauma. Her manner of death is homicide. Clearly, Antonetta and Janine did something to her, but exactly what? Just 3 hours prior, before her passing, a call comes into 911 from a leasing agent at the apartment complex, Preston Hills Apartments. The leasing agent is on the phone with 911, and she's almost live updating the operator on what's going on at the apartment complex right now. First, she's explaining she's driving into work, and in the parking lot, in the distance, like on the back road of this apartment complex, she sees what looks like a big dog on the ground or something. I don't know, it looked like a pet. But as she drives closer, she sees, oh, it's not a pet. It's two girls on the ground fighting. It's a bunch of people fighting. It does not look like standing around and arguing either. They're on the ground, the concrete. They're kicking, slamming, punching. They're down on the ground. And naturally, the leasing agent has zero intention of getting out of the car. But she's still brave. She's rolling by in her car, these three people fighting. And she tells them to stop the fight. One of them looks up at her, pauses, and goes back to slamming down the other girl's head onto the cold concrete, onto the pavement. The leasing agent drives to our office, immediately calls 911, and she remembers seeing one person sitting on top of Ashley. At this point, Ashley is forced to lay on her stomach on the cold concrete floor. Somebody is sitting on top of her, holding her down onto the ground while simultaneously punching her, slamming her head around, physically grabbing at her head, pulling it around, punching it. Just so much is happening, and the third person is standing next to the two, and it looks like she's recording on their phone. And then she'll randomly go in and just kick Ashley while she's down on the ground, and then go back to recording. The leasing agent tells the operator they're jumping her. I mean, it's so clear. This girl, Ashley, is not fighting back. She's down. She's a small girl. They're jumping her. And she also hears one of them scream, "I will murder you! I will murder you!"
I will murder you! I will murder you! I will murder you! I will murder you! I will murder you!
She can see them through the leasing office window, and when they finally get up, she can see that one of the girls, Ashley, has this giant red splotch on her head. She could tell it's blood. She's bleeding. There looks to be a tiny bit of blood on one of the offending parties, the one that's beating her, but it's hard to say for certain if it's Ashley's blood or she's also injured. But then something very strange happens. They are no longer fighting. All three of them get up, and now they're walking towards an apartment unit together. Nobody's getting dragged. I mean, nobody seems happy, but they're just walking back to the apartment now. The police later pieced together that after Antonetta and Janine lure Ashley out to their side of the neighborhood, pretending to be Daniel, texting Ashley on Daniel's phone while Daniel is asleep, acting like he's gonna meet her outside. They come, tackle her to the ground, attack her, and when they decide they've gotten all their sick anger out, they grab Ashley's phone and threaten to call her fiance using her phone.
Hey, give us some. Nope, you're not getting it. You're jumping both of us to your phone. Come on. Let's go.
Get on the ship.
Let's go. No.
They start walking back to Daniel's apartment with Ashley's phone, and they lock her outside. Ashley is standing outside Daniel's door, screaming, banging on the door like, "I'm not leaving until I get my phone back." That is when Daniel wakes up. Janine would even later say that Antonetta actually helped Daniel wake up and said, "Hey, the love of your life is outside." Basically, like, your side is outside. This is kind of how she describes it. He better get the door. Eventually, Daniel gets Ashley her phone back and she leaves. And not long after that, she arrives at the hospital and the police show up to their unit to question them. At this point, because the leasing agent had called about this fight, Ashley is not deceased yet. At this point, she's at the hospital, the police are in Daniel's apartment, and they're trying to investigate what this altercation was about. Antonetta opens the door and she starts walking out towards the officers, and she's ready to tell them everything. Antonetta has a very good explanation for why she beat up Ashley. She states that Ashley had come here looking for her man. She was banging on the door, telling her to open it so that they could fight some more. Antonetta is ranting to the officers.
This girl, she thinks somehow she can sleep on my fiance. She works over there, she's his manager, and she keeps on forcing him to have sex with her after he then cut it off, or she's gonna fire him. And we ended up fighting right here because she approached my home. This is my home. She lives all the way over there.
Okay, is everybody in the house right now?
The officers point at Daniel, and this is your fiance? Yes, my fiance. I've known him for 5 years, okay? We moved here together from up north. He's worked at Floor & Decor. He's been sleeping with his manager. And that's who was here? Yes, he's been sleeping with his manager, and I've been feeling it for some time now. Yesterday, I'm walking to Quick Trip, the gas station. I see them walking together, and you're a woman, you know your intuition. I know that's the girl. I've seen her. We argued yesterday, he broke it up, it was fine, and this morning now, she's calling, texting, saying that she's gonna be coming here, so I waited for her. And then I fought her, because I'm just enraged now. I'm very heartbroken, you see? I started packing my stuff yesterday. Nothing is even in bags because I'm just mentally out of it right now, because this is the person that I wanted to grow old with. This is the person that I wanted to share my life with, and I feel dirty. I feel disgusting. I feel heartbroken, and I feel stupid. But I'm okay right now. I'm not gonna go out hating anybody, hitting anybody. I'm not a menace to society. I'm just very heartbroken that the person I love has been doing this to me.
This is all on camera.
Yes. They break another rule, which is do not lie to the authorities. So these girls, they just be breaking all the rules on what not to do with the police. The police asked the two girls, so did y'all come to meet up so y'all could fight, or nope? She came here to meet with him, and then I caught her, and I beat her up. She's actually cheating on her family too, go figure, you know, husband and kids. I hope her husband finds the hell out, because why do I have to be the only one in shambles in my life? Is that y'all's kid together? The officer is pointing at the kid, presumably watching TV in the apartment. So most of the footage is blurred because there are children in the background. Yes, beautiful, right? Who would want to lose a family like that? Who would want to? Beautiful kid. I hope you guys understand, I'm not crazy. I'm really peaceful. I'm just heartbroken, you know? I'm just very heartbroken. You know, I never thought I would have to deal with this. Never in my life, you know? At one point, the officers ask them to describe what Ashley looks like, and Antonetta tells officers, Hispanic, black hair with highlights, messed up teeth, big jaw, don't know what he sees in her. And weight, just like estimate, well, like 80 pounds. I hope she's not on drugs. I hope I didn't catch anything, Lord God. Because I guess some people lose a lot of weight when they're on drugs, which there's no indication that Ashley was on drugs. Another quick tip that I feel like a lot of criminal defense attorneys would give, not that I am one, but just in general, life tip that gets broken multiple times by both Antonetta and Janine is do not advertise any characteristics in yourself that might be connected to criminal behavior. For example, to say things like, I'm really sneaky, I'm super secretive, I'm good at hiding stuff. Probably not something to advertise to the authorities. At one point, Antonetta tells officers, I'm a pretty good fighter, to emphasize how she does not have as many injuries as Ashley does because she's a pretty good fighter.
What?
Another advisory would be do not verbalize intent to commit further crimes. But Antonetta tells the officer straight up, it would be bad for her to come back over here. I mean, if you guys want me to call her, I'll call her. You know, I handle the situation, but I'm not just gonna go looking for her just to let you guys know. I'm not gonna go on a manhunt for her. I don't care. I already handled my business. Do you want anything done to her? Nope. Nope. I think she's got enough, you know? Well, she's gotta learn to fight. If you're gonna cheat on somebody, you gotta learn how to fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, know your side as a mistress. If she comes back here, I will call you guys, and if she doesn't leave, then I'm just gonna beat her up again. I'm just letting you guys know. Near the end of the initial conversation with the authorities, Antonetta jokes, I wish you guys could just take me away for the week. I really need a break from this house. And the officer pauses and responds, be careful what you wish for. Seriously, be careful what you wish for. Because I know you say you want a weekend away from your family and the house, but when it comes down to it, you will probably have a quick change of heart.
Wow. So this is before Ashley passed away.
Yes.
So everyone is still just investigating as like a little fight.
Yes. It's like a violent altercation, and it seems like all parties could technically be charged, but if it's mutual, it's
hard to...
Yeah, it seems like most likely at this point, the police, their verbiage and the way that they're responding to the situation is if all parties want to drop it, they'll just drop it. They're not going to arrest anybody, is the vibe that they're giving.
So they're coming back later after the hospital?
They come back after the hospital confirms that Ashley is dead.
The same day or?
The same night, yeah. So the fight happened early in the morning and they come back at night. Because now it's a big crime. It's a big deal. This is why a lot of people say there is the whole one punch thing. Punching someone anywhere is bad. Punching someone anywhere in the head, you just cannot predict how one punch can literally kill somebody. And when that happens, it's murder. Like you can't say, oh, I didn't know it was going to kill them. Once the authorities come back after Ashley's death, now this is when they go through Daniel's phone and they're trying to really piece together how mutual this alleged altercation was. Was it really that Ashley was coming to meet Daniel and maybe she was trying to fight Antonetta first? Because that's how Antonetta is making it seem from earlier that day. But when they go through Daniel's phone, he is confirming to them that absolutely these are not his text messages that he sent to Ashley.
When did they tell Antonetta?
At night.
Oh.
Okay, did you see that part? Like when it was...
Yes, that was in the beginning of the episode. She's in the doorway that night, and they say she died. And she just goes, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That was not my intention. I'm just going through a really hard time right now. I have bipolar depression.
So I guess the girl went to the hospital and she died. She died. She's dead. But because of that, we have to kind of talk to you guys and get a more formal statement.
Wow. I'm so sorry about that. That was not my intention. I've been mentally going through a lot. I have bipolar depression and I'm just going through a lot right now.
Daniel is showing the authorities the phone, showing the messages, the text read from Ashley, and this seems like from Ashley and Daniel at this point. Ashley responds, that's all I have to give, which is me. No more, no less. I don't have it in me to be pretending to be something or someone else. Daniel responds, thank you for being you. I can't wait to see you beautiful. Me too. Go to bed, darling. Your ass has been through enough for the day. Even though I don't want to stop talking to you, but you need to relax a bit. The messages stop, and later Antonetta messages Ashley pretending to be Daniel. Where are you at? I need to see you. LOL, I'm in bed. I want you here so bad. Meet me, please. I'm going through it. I got kicked out. Are you serious? All right, let me put on something real quick. All right, I'm outside. Ashley responds, okay, I'm about to come out. How long? Right now, I'm grabbing my keys. I'm downstairs. So they're coordinating where in the apartment complex she's walking. And she's responding things like, okay, meet me in the back. Okay, we're meeting here. But it's not Daniel meeting Ashley because he's asleep. It's Antonetta and Janine.
This is morning.
This is morning. He was still asleep while they were outside assaulting Ashley. And it wasn't until they came back with Ashley's phone that Ashley is banging on the door. Antonetta is waking Daniel up with Ashley's phone, like, I have your girlfriend's phone, haha. She's outside, I just beat her up. Daniel remembers opening the door, being shocked because it was clear that Ashley was quote unquote up. She did not look good. He could tell that she was beaten severely. He closes the door, and he said he was in a state of shock. He just turns to Antonetta and starts screaming at her, what the f*** is wrong with you? It was never that serious, like, between you and me, Antonetta. Ashley continues knocking on the door. She's trying to explain, listen, I don't care. I just want my phone back. Like, you can do whatever you want. I don't care. Give me my phone back. Antonetta throws the phone at the wall. Daniel goes to grab it, opens the door, hands it to Ashley, and he turns around at this point just to, I guess, scream at Antonetta and Janine. And he keeps screaming, I told you, like, the love interest is gone. I told you all of this. Like, what do you mean? I told you this yesterday when you saw us walking to QT together, so what are we doing here? At this point, Ashley leaves to go back to her apartment where she lays on the bed to call her fiancé to come home because she's not feeling well, and she just got randomly jumped. Daniel's in this huge argument with everybody else, and the police keep stopping by nonstop. So it's like the whole day they're just all arguing. The worst part of all of this is when the authorities finally find out that Ashley has passed, they take all of their phones. They see the text messages that Antonetta sent from Daniel's phone. But worse than that is they find on Janine's phone footage of the fight. They see Antonetta having Daniel's phone outside the apartment, hiding behind bushes, coordinating, texting Ashley. They're hiding, making sure that Ashley doesn't see them. Otherwise, she could just turn around and walk the other way. Janine asks Antonetta, what if she sees us and she walks away? Well, she can't get away because I'm going to run up after her and beat her up. They run towards the back of the building, and when they see Ashley, they come out. Janine is following behind Antonetta, recording, and Antonetta confronts Ashley. So guess what? That was me. And immediately tackles Ashley to the ground while Janine is egging her on, screaming, yeah, side hoe. Antonetta is holding her down on the concrete while punching her in the head. Janine is calling Ashley ugly while Antonetta continues beating her. Ashley calls Antonetta crazy, and Janine thinks it's a good thing, like she's trying to hype Antonetta up. Ashley keeps telling her, get the f*** off of me, get the f*** off of me, you think I'm scared of you?
Yeah. He succeeds this time around.
This is what we do, side bitches. This is what we do. What's side bitches? What's side bitches?
Antonetta starts punching her head repeatedly, and Ashley keeps telling her to get off, but she won't. She keeps screaming at Ashley, do you want to get f***ed up? I'm gonna f***ing f*** you up.
Say hi to Daniel. Say hi to Daniel. You know he said I could come out here for us, right? You know that, right? He's in the house with our son. He said I could f*** Yep, this is what we do. If I get mad and he knows I'm leaving, he's so sad. He says I like her up. That's what I'm doing.
While Antonetta is holding her down, the leasing agent drives by, but she's not able to stop them from fighting. She drives off and calls 911, while Antonetta is threatening. You're his manager, right? I'm gonna get you fired. That's a conflict of interest. You're fucking my N-word while he's on the clock. Fucking my trying to ruin his family. Antonetta starts swinging her around by her hair, slamming her onto the ground, screaming,
I will murder you. 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 Stop, you sound like you right now. I will do worse for you right now. I will do worse for you. I will do worse for you. I will do worse for you. That's why he was trying to protect you, but now he don't care for you to get your ass beat. He let me do this. He let me. You're getting fired. You're getting fired. You're getting fired.
Antonetta continues to punch her over and over and then asks, you want some of this, Janine? She responds, yeah, I can do, and she puts the phone down, or it seems like she's holding the phone so it's pointing towards the sky, because she goes in to kick Ashley in the back multiple times.
You want some of this, Janine? Yeah, I do.
Now he's gonna turn against him like
He's so upset.
And Ashley is very small. Antonetta is still on her violent monologue. You messed with a crazy ass, and he knows I'm crazy. You're looking dumb. Go home. Ashley asks for her phone back. At this point, they take her phone, but Antonetta tells her,
You want it, you get it, come for it.
Is it almost on a record?
You want to stop. I can do this. He let me come out here and work for that. You should be ashamed of yourself. Come out here in the morning. I can work the whole way. Fire chief. Calling your corporate. Saying that you're
Yeah, I'm glad she's back.
calling your corporate office tomorrow.
And the sister's recording all of it.
yes.
Wow.
While Ashley is hospitalized after this, so they go back to the apartment, Daniel wakes up, gives Ashley her phone back. While she's hospitalized, Daniel is desperately trying to get in contact with her, texting, can I see you? The cops are here. You want me to tell them what happened? And she said, no, I'm good. Leave me alone. Please talk to me. My face is all fucked up and I can't breathe. Fuck texting. Can you please just talk to me? Can I get you, please? Why was it a whole setup? He responds, can you pick up for me? I don't want to call you and seem like I'm harassing you. Please pick up. She responds, I don't really want to talk right now. Ashley, can I see you, please? I can't breathe and my heart is skipping a beat. I'm on foot to urgent care. Bye. No way, please. Your f***ing sister kicked me in the back by my heart and chest. I was good till she did that. So a lot of people question why Janine was also charged with murder, and it's likely because of this text message and the footage of her kicking.
She say I was good until your sister kicked me from the back.
Ashley, I really, with all my good intentions, want to see you and check on you. I feel sad and I can't believe your face and body is hurt. Talk to me or let me see you. I'm sorry. It hurts to see you like this. Please. She does not respond. Janine does not know that the police have the video on her phone, nor does she know that Ashley texted Daniel, her brother, all of this. She doesn't know any of this. Instead, Janine thinks she and the officers are buddy-buddy. She thinks they're friends. She has no clue that her beyond idiotic, strange behavior is going to be the reason she goes viral. At one point, the authorities, I guess in an attempt to build rapport, they asked Janine, you seem kind of athletic. Did you play sports when you were in school?
Some shoulders on.
Why would you do that? You don't know if you really care about these shoulders.
Well, I apologize if you will.
They're a little, I know.
They're fine.
It's just she genuinely thinks they're all friends. So what happened in the fight? Did Ashley hurt you? Do I see some scratch marks on your neck? Do I have some scratch marks? No. It wasn't jumping. Oh, I see. Will you tell us a little bit about what happened? Like, how did it happen? Oh, it was very vivid. It just happened so fast, you know? Fights are like a blur when it happens, typically. But where was Ashley? I know you said earlier that she came looking for your brother. She came because he was moving, he was getting kicked out, and she wanted to be a little writer when she knows she's a side chick and she's got a husband at home. Like, girl. She knows she's breaking up a happy home. How did you make contact with her? Through messages, like, you know, we seen her. Where did you guys meet up? She was in our complex. I guess she lives, like, right near us. Like, I think there's, like, two sides of the complex. You know, that hill, it goes around and then, like, it goes up and around. But there's another complex that looks just like the same. So did she just knock on the door at first, or you guys just saw her outside? Outside. She didn't knock. She didn't get the chance to. Because, like, oh, yeah. You got that woman around? I'm about to be around. So, yeah. You know, it wasn't really, like... It was just like, yeah, you came to see my,
Don't turn your back.
you know, who it was, because she got ready to, you know, it's just fighting. It was just fighting. Who is fighting? The girl in Antonetta. The detective is very quick on her feet. She's been the whole... Detective Carter is the way that her cadence mirrors Janine, and she asks everybody? No. Girl, you didn't get in on it?
No. Girl, you didn't get on it? I
course you did. I think you did. You got like you said, that's your homegirl. Tell me about that.
I didn't go crazy though, cause she's small as hell. Like you're nuts already. I don't need to be punching her, dragging her. I don't need to do all that. Okay. I give my little hit and
where'd you get it in at?
I know I asked her. Like in the beginning, she got on the floor. And I kind of like just a little bit. And then I
the bad guy.
It's hard, the adrenaline going.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know how
just a little hit. I didn't really like her. That's just crazy.
So how did you get her phone? She had her phone in her hand. I don't know who posts up with their phone in her hand. If I'm about to fight, I'm dropping everything. I'm telling you that right now. And maybe don't tell them that right now. But it was like on the floor. She was like, grab the phone, and I grabbed it. When she was talking all that while getting beat up, like, how did that make you feel with the stuff that she was saying? I don't care. She was like, I don't get bothered by people who talk. Like, you really gotta do something to me.
He's jealous.
But she was talking about your brother though. Yeah, and I was like, so?
Gravity boots.
So you weren't mad? I can't be that mad now, come on. She knew what it was, you're gonna talk regardless. It's a fight, what do you expect? It's a fight. I'm just like, I've been in multiple fights. They all talk, they bring it, So yeah, I wasn't really getting angry, I was chill. So Daniel was sleeping the whole time? Antonetta woke him up when we knew Ashley was coming. Then he was like, and then we was like, yeah, she's about to get beat up because now, you're getting kicked out and she thinks it's okay to come and save you. Like, who is she? You haven't even been together for that long. Like, that was weird. So yeah, that's where it really started.
Oh my god.
That's her demeanor. There is some very strange moments in the whole interrogation with the police. While waiting for the interrogation, like I said, she's sitting there listening to music on her AirPod. They took her phone, so she doesn't have her phone, but she's putting in her AirPod and it's still connected to the music I guess she was previously listening to.
What? They took away the phone, but the music's still going.
Yes, and she's singing along to her playlist, which I don't know if this is a normal thing, but in this setting, it just feels very dumb. Like, she's singing, and then she'll start yawning. Truly no clue how serious this is about to get. Then she starts full-on just bopping to the music for 20 minutes straight. She's using finger guns to sing along to Hotline Bling. She's shaking her head from side to side. She's yawning. Later, when they tell her she's going to jail for murder, they have to take photos of her, and she starts posing. She's like popping out her hip, almost like those cheerleader photos that you have in high school. And the detective literally calls her out on it. She's giggling, and she's like, "Are you posing right now?" And they're laughing, and she's like, "Okay, let me stop. You're making me nervous. You're making me nervous."
Wait, so detectives still playing along. The cops are still playing along. They're like, this is the dumbest thing I ever seen, but I'm gonna play along.
Even when they take pictures of her back, she says she has bad back knee and she seems embarrassed.
Can't hold it.
Which, sure, okay, but you should be more embarrassed about the murder charge. After the detective tells her that she's charged with murder, they leave her alone in the interrogation room, and she starts whispering and talking to herself, repeating things like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" She'll randomly start laughing and saying things like, "What the fuck? I just can't see myself in jail. Like, this don't seem real."
That's so strange.
Yeah, even when she's being handcuffed, she takes off her bracelets, puts them in the baggie, telling officers that her bracelets were handmade in Africa. And worse, though, is she's being turned around to be handcuffed, and she says, "Oh my God." In a very bizarre, creepy moment in Janine's interrogation, she looks at the officers and says, "That's crazy. But like, do you know how she died?"
He can fly in space.
No,
Do you know how she died?
not on his tape recorder.
They had like a little autopsy, but it was after the result of the injury she sustained in the fight. How does it make you feel?
That shit make me feel like I'm going to hell. But I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
You're lying. Not.
Like that's
Are you fucked? This is not.
And the officers egg her on. Yeah, and she's not a big girl. No, she isn't. That's why I didn't want to fight her. She's too small. I looked at her and I'm just like, how old are you? She told me she was 30, and I'm like, you're really small for your age to be 30. She looked sick, skinny.
Oh, actually, oh my gosh. Okay, go to contact.
Do you want your brother's phone number at all?
So they plead guilty. They try to get a plea deal. And the worst part is, before the sentencing, a fellow cellmate of Antonetta and Janine's goes to the police officers and reports that they are scared. Janine and Antonetta are scared at the prospect of getting life in prison for their literal actions, that they are allegedly colluding in jail about pinning the entire thing on the victim's fiance, Ashley's fiance. They're trying to say that after Ashley went home, her fiance found out that she got beaten up by her, I guess, the person she's having an affair with, and he allegedly finished the job is the new story that they're trying to spin. That he's the one that caused the final harm that killed her. Perhaps he further injured her at home to make sure that she wouldn't make it, or maybe he prolonged her getting medical attention and took a long time to take her to the emergency room. She says they're basically putting this on the victim's husband, that he did something that possibly caused the injuries, and then argue that there was a failure to give proper medical care in a timely manner. They're going to argue that there were errors that were made that could have saved her life, that it wasn't the fight with the girls that ended her life. It was a lack of adequate care in a certain time, you know?
Tell them I'm gonna be right.
How are they still be able to talk like this in prison, right?
They asked her, the inmate that rats them out, to send messages between. That's why she knows all of this. So with that, the girls are sentenced to 20 years in prison because they pled guilty.
Wow, so they both each got 20.
Yeah. The comments read, the police interview with the sister was disturbing. She thought she was being all cute. Both women are despicable, and I'm glad they're being held accountable. When they told Daniel Ashley died, my heart sank. He looked genuinely distraught. Another reads, the sister is truly delusional. She is detached from reality. She's literally talking to the detectives as if she's gossiping at a teenage sleepover. Another reads, I think the sister was dropped on her head as a child. She thought she was gossiping with her besties. Another reads, the sister is every lawyer's nightmare, lol, a clear example of lights are on but nobody's home. Another, Janine needs to be locked up forever. She lacks all sense of normal human behavior. Everything is funny. Murder? I just pulled her hair a little. Followed by giggles.
All the adventure.
The sister is not wired correctly, and it's very scary.
Teamwork. They were like mom and dad.
Some people say, I don't understand these types of people. Emotional intelligence is at a negative. Fighting everyone except her, quote, man that could clearly do without her. Kids that they clearly do not value and will never see again. And what the f is wrong with the sister? She knows the woman is dead at that point when she's in the interrogation room. Instead of crying and break, she's laughing and giggling. Animals. Another comment reads, Antonetta killed another woman over a man that will move on when she's in prison. Another points out how Antonetta reacts to hearing that Ashley is dead. I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention. Girl, that's something you say when you accidentally bleach a shirt or something. A life was taken. Others point out the fact that she said, I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention. I'm just going through a lot right now. I have bipolar depression. A comment reads, I have bipolar depression. Girl, so do a lot of people, but you don't see them murdering people out of jealousy. Another points out what Antonetta said prior to that. She was making my fiance sleep with her. No, your fiance was cheating on you. You beat a woman to death. Another comment reads, she killed that woman over a man that didn't even want her, shaking my head.
Defeats the purpose.
Antonetta, I wasn't gonna kill anybody. Also Antonetta in the video recording, I will murder you. Another quote, she's dead. I'm so sorry about that. I've just been going through a lot. What the But there are some people who defend the girls. Someone comments, I feel bad because it's not like they knew she was gonna pass away from a fight. Yeah. But most people, I think, are on the path of Quote, "You're in prison now. Your cheating man is free. Your child is without a mother. The other mother is dead. Yeah, you surely thought this one through." Another comment just reads, "I feel very sad for the boyfriend of the deceased woman. To find out you're being cheated on the same time you find out your partner passed, and I feel very sad for all the children involved." So with that, they are both going to serve 20 years for voluntary manslaughter and robbery by force. Their maximum release date is August 2042. They may potentially get out sooner than that. To which one netizen comments, "I can't believe they only got 20 years. It was premeditated. They lured her, they beat her, and killed her. Premeditated. They should have gotten life."
A leader of anything?
What are your thoughts on this one? Let me know in the comments. Please be safe, and I will see you in the next one.